therefore, teaching all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Nah, because we're gonna be. We got. Let's go, man.
We gotta go.
Soldier of the cross.
We're talking about.
Let's go. So let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna try to fade it out today. Let's go. Yeah.
Fade it.
Let's go.
That wasn't a fade, man. That was like cut it off. That was like it's like an 8-track. You went to the next
That was
track.
my first try at fading out, man. It wasn't a fade away. It was just a slam dunk.
We just had a lighting problem, and Jay goes, "Hey, man, I'm too dark." I'm like, "Man, I really got some bad news for you, bro. It's not good. I mean, I hate to tell you this." No, but we messed around. I got the lighting fixed, so I think we're gonna be all right. We always got the crappy light in the background, but that's okay. But you know what time it is, man?
It's game time.
It's game time.
And it's some early game time.
Yeah, we got a little early game time going on. We got a little Wednesday night action for you because we got lives.
Yeah.
We got crap going on. We got stuff to do. So, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. A little tired, because I got so much going on. So yeah.
He's got a rough life. He's an empty nester. He messed around, and I mean he got to show up to church on Sundays, and so I mean it's tough, man. He's got a busy schedule. You got to watch out. Jay Thompson.
Homework.
Home. Oh, he's going to college one night a week, so you got to watch out. So this guy is out of control. So you got your boy Russell Maben, Temple, Texas. Best friend Jay Thompson, Killeen, Texas.
Amen.
New format. Okay, we got some new stuff coming at you.
Breaking news.
Dun, dun, dun. We're gonna mess around and make something happen this time. That we're feeling a little bit better about it. We got a few more equipment issues that we're gonna get worked out, and that so we'll have a better sound and a better opportunity to have a bigger audience. So we're just gonna one step at a time get better and better, and just make it as good as we can get it. So, you know what we should do, man? We should do something that makes you just go, that is what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. And you might not have said nothing for 3 hours, but that's what you're talking about. So what are you talking about this week?
Man, you know what I'm talking about this week? I'm talking about this Fitz magic that's going on right now. And you just showed me one of the funniest things I ever seen. Like, I didn't know it was a Fitzpatrick cycle that goes on. Like,
oh, yeah.
How many teams have he duped with this?
Oh, man.
This
was shown to me. My buddy Hersey showed me this one. And he gets cut.
6 steps to
There's 6 steps. You got to get cut. Then you sign with somebody as a backup. Then the starter gets hurt. Then you come in and play well. Then you get paid. Then you start sucking. Then you get cut. So, and he's at the point where he's playing really well. So maybe they'll give him a lot of money. Who knows? I don't know if he's too old to get a contract or what.
No, not me.
So what are you excited about with this dude?
I'm just excited that they just having fun with it. Because maybe he even knows the cycle. Like, even he realizes, like, you know what? I only got about 3 games of this, so I'm going to have fun with it. So, to see the press conference and...
that's the part that I was like. That's the part I was liking right there. He shows up, and I'm like, who is this guy? He looked like Andy Gibb from the Bee Gees or something. I'm like, what in the world are you doing, man? He looked like Larry on Three's Company back in the day.
A lot of people say he looked like McGregor, the fighter.
A little bit. If he was in better shape. He's a quarterback, so he's not in very good shape.
I was surprised he could fit the Sean Jackson stuff. That stuff like a medium, man.
He said, man, I got to get this stuff back to my D-Jack over there, man. I got to get it back to him. I'm wearing his stuff. And I'm like, you are a hot mess, man. You went to Harvard and you're wearing DeJohn.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's a game. It's a kid's game. Have fun with it. Don't think so much of yourself. To have some fun, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's weird about that whole thing is that week 1, I heard somebody say, they're not guaranteeing Winston he's going to get his job back. Yeah. And I'm like,
right.
If y'all watched the NFL for the last 15 years, this dude has been around forever. If you don't know what Ryan Fitzpatrick is at this point, you ain't never going to know.
Right. But the thing is, he's actually in the pocket and stuff because he actually can move some.
He can. He can. I mean, he's not
But he's a gunslinger. He's gonna throw it.
Trust me, he's a gunslinger.
Yeah,
he will throw you one.
Yeah, and everybody's getting in on it. So hey,
I'll tell you this: Deshaun Jackson was on that team for 16 games last year, and I think he might have scored one touchdown.
Right.
And
that's one.
This dude right there is like, he's like, I'd like to vote for Ryan. Jameson can't find me. You can
have my clothes.
Jameson can't find me like with a GPS. Yeah, let's go.
But who's the odd man out is Bray.
I don't care. I don't have Bray.
There's some people out there that actually drafted Bray, and this dude, I don't know if
people paid money for Bray.
Oh man. So I think either he's just blocking or special teams now. Or
I know this. If O.J. Howard scores a touchdown, it's going to be 75 yards because that's the only kind of touchdowns he scores. It's 75 yards. Your national championship game, 75 yards. Last year, 75 yards. This year, 75 yards. I'm like, dude, you can score from somewhere besides your own 25.
Yeah, so after you get past 25, you just lose all interest, huh?
Yeah, man, Tyler, this bull corn right here.
I wish I would score a 60-yard touchdown.
The Bucks are in the red zone. Brait's in the game. Oh.
I refuse to go in. Mess up my yards per catch.
Well, I actually got a lot that I'm talking about.
Man, go ahead and talk about it, man.
This is what I'm talking about. The whole NFC East lost last week except for the Cowboys. That's what I'm talking about right there.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, I'm loving that. But on the real, I saw Chris Carter do this years ago, and I hadn't seen anybody do it too much since then. I think... what's Brandon Lloyd? Remember Brandon Lloyd made a couple of really circus catches when he was playing for the 49ers?
Yeah, he did.
But Keelan Cole, the way he caught it, he didn't catch a normal one-handed. He turned the backhand, but then, for good measure, he just twisted it back around and brought it in and never let the other hand touch it. That's what I'm talking about right there. Because Chris Carter, I saw do the overhand one, but man, that was a beautiful catch.
Yeah, it was.
A beautiful catch, and really glad I didn't pick him up. So the other one is, and this is what I'm talking about because I've thought about this before,
right? And
I wondered if anybody could ever even pull it off because I don't know if you got theater skills or not, but the North Texas punt returner.
Oh yeah.
And someone caught the ball and didn't call for a fair catch, and then just kind of like. Yeah, just kind of chilling. I just loved it, man. It was so proud. I don't know if he's in the theater program, but he needs to be.
So that's where they were recruiting.
Yeah,
you got a special play.
Yeah.
We want you young man right there. Yeah, you come over here.
Do you have any black actors? Okay, we like one. Yes, we don't care. Just somebody. Yeah. How fast are you, bro?
Yeah. Oh man, it don't even matter. We just got something for you.
Can you catch?
Yeah. See, so when I saw punt return trick play, I was thinking of the Titans. That's what I thought you was gonna be talking about. But how many times on that play is the guy uncovered and they just punt the ball? So I was just surprised that they did it, and I'm surprised actually that more teams don't do that. Like automatic or check with me.
Yes.
Like you see it out there and you just throw it. Yeah.
Hecker does it. Hecker does it all the time.
So hopefully somebody out there they can catch. Normally it's like a receiver or somebody that's a gunner. So I don't know why that don't happen more often.
Here's I don't know why we're on the special teams, but here's the thing I've never understood. Why is the holder like the least athletic person on the team? If something goes wrong, don't you want somebody to pick it up and be able to run with it? They always got like the punter or the third string quarterback or somebody holding.
You know why though, right? Because they used to have it to where it was the backup quarterback and all that kind of stuff. But we done been in training camp enough to where they're like, okay, you two, y'all just go over there. The two punters, kickers, y'all go over there. We're going to be over here doing like real stuff. And y'all go play cards or whatever y'all do. And so that's kind of, I think, why that way.
But I would still use like a fifth wide receiver or somebody that has some athletic ability,
But we only got so much time to practice, and I can't have you over there doing that.
If you're the fifth wide receiver, you got time to go run a couple of reps over there with the kickers.
I already know the kickers be in the stadium with us when we practice. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
So y'all just go to the elementary school and just practice. We gonna be in the stadium.
I better see some balls go through the air too, man. It's a bunch of bullshit. All right, so our next segment is new. So we got some breaking news. This is going to be kind of a spot where we talk about whatever's going on in fantasy football land, like the hot takes for this week.
Fantasy game time. So you want to talk some fantasy?
Let's talk some fantasy football around this son of a gun. I ain't scared. There might have been like a player transaction or something that happened this week that
so
maybe.
You're telling me a good player went to the Patriots for nothing? I can't believe that happened. They lost the game and all of a sudden they got a great player. Man.
That's very strange.
Man, how that shocked the fantasy world.
Boy, that did. How about Josh Gordon?
Wow, it's crazy to me, man.
It's like, to me, he's the only Baylor wide receiver that's come out that's ever even done anything. I mean, Terrence Williams is like the second best Baylor receiver to ever come out. He's terrible. Dude can't get on the field.
He's rich.
He's rich, but he's terrible. But Josh Gordon, I mean, freakazoid talent, led the league in receiving yards a couple of years ago. Didn't play for a couple of years. I mean, just been just a mess of a human being. But dang, that dude's good.
Right, and you come in and then you just catch a touchdown. Like, oh, okay, all right. But no, you come over here and sit down. But I was wondering, like, what else was offered? Like, I wish we really, we talk about this Hard Knocks and what y'all had All In or something y'all did, the Cowboy. Yeah. Like, I want something to where we actually get to, like, know, like, now, like, what were the offers?
Yeah.
Like, we took a fifth, but it was a third out there, but we didn't want that. We wanted the Patriots fifth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I heard the Cowboys and a couple of other teams made offers, but they took the Patriots offer.
Yeah.
And they even wanted to send him to the NFC.
And the Patriots fifth is really a 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be pick 31 in that or 32 or something in that round.
So, but you know what I put, man? It has to be more to the story, man. And we won't know it right now. It'll come out, at
February.
Yeah, kind of thing to
Super Bowl week.
It's got to be more, because
there is, and there was a report of like a pulling a hammy during doing an ad or something like that, and then not reporting it or something crazy like that. But
and being
I think there's a drug thing coming. I mean, it's like, hey, because I think it's a fifth, but it becomes.
But see, now that was the other question. Like, are they like us fantasy guys to where, am I trying to trade you somebody I know on IR kind of thing? Like, is it to where we already know the parameters before the trade goes through? Like, man, he might be subject to a suspension. Like, if he does, then it's null and void, but he's already over there. So, I don't.
So basically, you got to pay him. If he's over on your team, you got to pay him. So if he does get suspended,
like, I need to know everything. Well, no, we're not telling you. Either you want him or not.
Yeah.
See, I don't think the NFL works that way. Like, we need to know everything about this player before we.
Crap! Look at the combine, man. They strip everybody down to a cavity search and like crap.
So maybe it's just I don't know. But breaking news. Tom Brady's got a new weapon. Like, there's been a bunch of, it's like he's been throwing the ball to Cordero Patterson and Philip Dorsett, and now they give him Josh Gordon. So it could either be Randy Moss or it could be Chad Johnson.
Or it could be any of the other receivers, Reggie Wayne, Eric Decker. Yeah, right. It's where you go to retire.
Right.
What else? Le'Veon Bell. Still $850,000 just ain't enough for me to come in to go to work. Yeah. And I think it's kind of a horrible career move. Meaning,
you only get but so many games.
Yes, and they're so precious and they're so few, and running backs especially kind of have to get in that flow. I mean, you can't come in October and play football. I mean, that's disrespecting the game. It is the NFL game for sure. I mean, you might be able to do that in high school, and just be a great athlete, but
he'd be fresh. Everybody all beat up and sore.
Yeah, he will be, but his hamstrings won't be. And I don't know. I think he's making a really, really bad career move. Do you think he's coming back anytime soon?
I would hope so.
I'm not talking about personal reasons, Jay. I'm talking about, do you think he's coming back?
I mean, he has to, man. One more loss, and I don't know if Pittsburgh even going to be Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff is happening with them that just don't happen.
let's go back. Let's just take just a quick peek back at the beginning of the season. Let's see. You picked Pittsburgh to go to the playoffs. I picked Pittsburgh to go to the playoffs. They're about to go to 0-3. Right. All right. There we go. There's the explanation on that one right there. Okie dokie. That's all you got to do. We can ruin a season in 2 seconds, man. Don't take me long. All right. Well, another guy that's out of work, Des Bryant. What in the world? There are people signing wide receivers. We just signed Bryce Butler this week. Bryce.
He was already with y'all.
Bryce Butler.
Yeah, that didn't go across the bottom.
You did not. So, and that wasn't even breaking news. That didn't even break Arizona's news. So he comes to Dallas for the last preseason game. And he's talking to some of the Dallas media, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm probably going to start on the other side of Fitzgerald this year." And they're like, "Oh, well, that's great." And he ends up playing 3/4 of the fourth game. It's like, the people that play 3/4 in the fourth game don't really start. That's not really what we're talking about.
Yeah,
then he didn't even make the team.
Yeah, I'm about to say, just leave your play. Don't even take it from the field. Just leave it right there.
Leave all your Arizona gear here in Dallas. That's fine. No, but he came back and he was, I'm gonna go find me a starting job. I ain't putting up with this bull crap that the Cowboys are doing. They don't believe that I can do it. I'm gonna go find me a starting job. This guy had like 20 catches in 16 games 3 years in a row, and he's gonna go start somewhere. I'm like, okay. So he comes limping back into the locker room, tail between his legs this week. We cut some
pie.
Yeah, we got him somebody served him a little extra dose. What about Carson Wentz coming back this week? I shoved that son of a gun right into the lineup. Like, there you go. Just whatever. Go do whatever you're about to do. I'm going to take credit for it. I can promise you.
Yeah, but it's amazing how, you lose a game and then... It's like you just get that doctor and say, "Hey, he's going to be ready this week, all right? You want me to get Fletcher Cox on you? Okay, he's ready. Oh, yeah, sign off. Yeah, go ahead. He's good. Oh, isn't he perfectly fine now? Yeah. So. Yeah,
that worked really good for Robert Griffin III, too. What about Joe Mixon leaving for a couple of weeks? That kind of hurt a few teams out there. And there are some others that that did not appreciate that very much.
Yeah, so he left the game?
He left and then he came back in.
Oh, okay.
And then so now he's out for a few weeks. But how valuable do you think Bernard is in that backup role?
Seems like he always come in and do decent, like ever since he been in the league.
RB2 usually when he's the only guy.
Right. So, but I think he showed up questionable. So
that's the other problem with him.
Well, he is not a big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't matter because A.J. Green catches all the touchdowns anyway. So
it's like Andy Dalton just figured out that A.J. Green was good in the first. Like, what in the world? Like, bro, he's been on your team 5 years. Anyways, so we got a new way we're going to go about this and try to get a little deeper into this. So we got 10 quarterbacks. I went to a fantasy site and like, hey, who's your top 10 this week? And I looked and we got Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, Newton, Breeze, Cousins. Wentz is already in there. Fitzmagic is in there.
Well,
Watson.
We can't call him Fitzmagic.
Oh.
Yeah, not no more.
Because he's on that part of the cycle where he's about to start sucking?
No, he's our Fitzpatrick went and got a patent or something to where he somehow...
Oh, my gosh.
Somehow he's been called that ever since high school, so he went and got it trademarked for him. So.
Hashtag Fitzmagic or little copyright sign. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Watson's in there. Were you surprised that Watson was in there?
No. I think he's warming up.
I hope so. Crap. We got half his receiving core. Stafford is in there. So we're not going to talk about any of those guys. We're going to go and see what else we got. Other than the top 10. And we agreed really on 4 and had a difference of opinion on the 5th one. So let's go through the ones that we agreed on here. We both liked Rivers at the Rams. Right. What did you like?
Well, I think Rivers is the most unrespected, non-respected quarterback in fantasy.
Fantasy. Yeah. NFL-wise, everybody knows he's good.
Yeah, but it's for some reason in fantasy, ever since 2010, this guy get drafted like round 10 or something.
He's old. Like crap, he's still playing.
But Eli go like round 5 and then the same draft and stuff. So yeah, but I just think he's right there every week.
Me too. I mean, if you look at even the yearly rankings, he's always in the top 10, usually 5 to 7, almost every single year. And so that can't happen all in one game. You know, he's got to perform, you know, all year long, and he never ever misses a game. And so the Rams are number 1 in the league against the pass. That's a typical Wade Phillips defense. I'll give you the run, just you ain't beating us with the pass. But even though that's true, I'm just confident that he's going to get the ball to Melvin Gordon underneath. He's going to chunk it to Austin Eckler. I mean, they're going to move the ball.
Right.
The Chargers are just going to move it, and I feel like the most effective way for them to do it is through Phillip Rivers. So I like that. We both took Big Ben at the Bucks. What were you thinking?
I mean, Ben been putting up numbers. I mean, it's not to, you know, who we think, but he's still doing it. You know, we got people crying because they only got 10 targets. You know. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, he finds people.
Check came on Tuesday though, didn't it? I think it did.
Yeah, but you can't have more catches than me. I don't know what that is all about. Yeah, so
what? Juju's doing something with it when he gets it. Jesse James is doing something with it when he gets it. Connor's doing something with it when he gets it. So it's just like, you know, but we need a number 1 receiver. You're taking the double coverage for us. Thanks.
But I think what happened, somebody said that one thing that I guess a diva receiver don't want to hear is it you or is it Big Ben? Like, is Big Ben making you? And so maybe
the media is so sneaky and just underhanded. I just don't.
And he took it to heart and went home and cried.
And man, they start posting things on. Yeah, man, they start posting things on Twitter, and here we go. Like, come on, man, it'll be all right. Man, somebody go give that dude a hug. All right, we were both on board with Matt Ryan against the Saints.
They always seem like have a shootout or something. So that's why I went with him.
I went with him because the Saints are 30th against quarterbacks. They're back. All right, the Saints are back with the
now
Saints.
The NFL is back.
Now the NFL feels right. The Saints are giving up 40 a game, so everything's back the way it should be out there. We both took Goff versus the Chargers, but you had a little caveat.
Well, I said I like Goff if Gurley don't get all the rushing touchdowns.
Flip him a little pass on with that little shovel or something.
That's the only way Goff won't do good if this Gurley be like, you know what? Every time I get it, I'm gonna just score.
Well, the Chargers are 23rd against quarterbacks, so I like Goff's odds this week, and I like the way they're using Brandon Cooks, and they're moving the ball through the air. So I'm a big fan. Who did we disagree about? You put Andrew Luck at the Eagles.
Right. Because I think where my little note is how soon we forget. You know, a guy gets hurt and be gone, and we forget, like, this dude was, like...
number 1 quarterback.
Drafted and was so fantasy relevant. I mean, top 5 fantasy guy before he got hurt. It ain't about wins, but...
now he's not in the top 10, for the week.
It's like, wow, really?
Like, move, man. We got to get Ryan Fitzpatrick and, Kirk Cousins in here. Move.
All right, man. So, but I like your pick, too. I was going back and forth on this one.
Yeah, I went with Garoppolo at the Chiefs because the Chiefs are like the Saints. They can't cover anybody, man. Like, you don't notice, but last week they gave up 37. They won, but they gave up 37.
Right.
I mean, you don't notice because their offense is scoring 50.
That's all they're talking about.
That's all they're talking about. And
when you win,
hey, winning cures all. They're winning, so nobody cares if the defense is giving up 37. So I like Garoppolo this week. I think it's a good matchup for him, and so we'll see. I watch Luck go for 5 touchdowns, and Garoppolo be like, "Man, I can't figure out this."
But I did notice in the highlights, Garoppolo. I don't know if he used to New England blocking, or because they don't call holding for New England or something. But it's like he was kind of holding on to the ball to me, like he was getting sacked.
But that's one of the things for a quarterback that really
the last thing
gets my radar up is decision making. Holding on to the ball too long because that's something that's really hard to fix.
Yeah, but you can scheme that. Some quick passes and
and they got a young guy that's willing to do that. So a head coach, a play caller too. So we're pretty much the same. Rivers, Big Ben, Matt Ryan, and Goff. We agreed on that. And then you're taking Luck against the Eagles, and I'm taking Garoppolo. Both of them on the road. So we'll see.
And I think Eagles gonna score points, and they back, and so they got to score to stay with them.
Yeah, I feel that, especially with the Colts defense. Good night. So let's look at some running backs here. With the top 10 that we're not going to mess with are Todd Gurley. He's good at football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara. He's pretty good at football too. Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson still is in there.
He's in the league.
He is. He's an elite running back.
I thought he's still in the bank.
No, he's the one. He's still a good running back. John Connor.
I don't know. Yeah.
Dalvin. I don't know what I'm so excited about. I didn't draft him in any league. I'm not getting any points for this. And Dalvin Cook. So we had a few guys that we agreed about here. What are you thinking here with Chris Thompson at home versus the Packers?
Man, I just like him. Like, he's a RB1 right now for me. Like, I just like him that much. So when they didn't have him in there, that was a no-brainer for me. He's just giving the ball any kind of way. Like, he's the type of player to where if you got a real good play caller, he can make this work. But I don't know if it's Alex Smith with his conservativeness or what. But it's too. That dude's too good to just be. I mean, I know he's getting a lot of passes, but maybe
that's even better.
Right. Get him in space and stuff like that.
If you're in any kind of PPR, that's wonderful. Flip him on a shovel pass. Fine with me, crap. Right. Anything you want to do. Now, I love Chris Thompson. To me, if he's healthy, he's a guy that you'll start. If you start more than one running back, you start Chris Thompson. He's just a guy that you start. He's just one of those guys that can't stay on the field.
Right.
That's been his whole story all the way through college and the pros. But he's an outstanding football player. We both liked Coleman at the Saints.
Right. He does this as soon as he get a chance and gets an opportunity.
Oh, yeah. The thing I didn't like about him last week was he could have busted a really long one. He busted a long one, but he could have busted a really long one if he had turned on them jets that he showed in college. When he was in college, I was watching his tape, fell in love with him because he broke to the outside against Ohio State and walked away from those defensive backs. And every year they got an Ohio State defensive back that runs a 4.3 at the combine. I mean, every year. Yeah. And he just walked away from them dudes. At Indiana. Who, Zeus? So he was gone, but I was like, oh, yeah, it's my dog. But then this past week, I was like, what was that? What are you plodding for? Run! Gosh. What were you thinking there?
Yeah, I just think he's one of them that's going to take advantage of it. I don't know how long Freeman out, if he's going to play this week or not, but because he's another one in the passing game that catches the ball. So I like him. He's startable, especially if Freeman is out another week.
Yeah. We both liked Kenyon Drake, your boy from Miami, versus Oakland.
Yeah. And they're looking for a pass rush. Man, we need to get a pass rush. So, yeah. I think you like...
John Green said apparently it's hard to find a pass rusher. I'm like, hard to find? He's standing in the locker room.
And he's big.
Huge, man. He's huge.
Can't miss him.
You cannot miss this cat. If you see him,
even though the
like,
linemen somehow
I like
him.
that guy. Is he on our team? Yes, he's on your team. Just sign him and don't trade him, idiot.
Just give him $100 million, man. It's not your money. You got $100 million.
That's exactly the kind of move that I was just kind of like, man, I'm glad I'm not a Raiders fan because this is not gonna go well. It is not gonna go. People are like, man, you forget John Gruden, man. He went to the Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, 100 years ago. Okay, this guy's become a television personality.
You go to some fans right now and say Chucky, they don't even know that was even a movie. You know what I'm saying? That was so long ago.
Are you talking about Barkley? So I like Drake because it's the Raiders. I just got no confidence in anything John Gruden is doing right now. I'm sorry, Jared. I love you, bro, but this team's gonna suck. And they're playing at home, and I think Gore's going to get some carries, but Drake is your heavy hitter. Yeah, your heavy hitter. So we had a couple of ones that we disagreed on. Who Who'd you take there at running back?
I like Breida. I think that's how you pronounce him at the
Yeah.
Chiefs. That there's just going to have to be some points scored, And he's a patient guy. I watched a couple of his runs, and he's not the biggest guy, but he's just patient. And you on that long run, you got somebody like Garcon, that's an old school receiver blocking for you. Like, man, so I like him this week.
I do, but I didn't put him in my top 5. But I like him because I started that son of a gun. Like, come on, baby, I need you this week. But I took your other boy, Ajayi, versus the Colts because I hate the Colts defense.
I'm sure of it. I hate him.
Nope, I'm sure of it. I hate him. You don't even know him. Yeah, but I hate him. Yeah, I hate their defense, man. I don't know when they're going to get a defense. And they got my boy Matt Eberflus coordinating their defense up there. He was Cowboys linebackers coach last year. But Ajayi, I know he's having a little bit of injury trouble, but I think if he gets in there, he's the guy that's going to punch in at the goal line. It's not going to be somebody else. It's going to be him. So I like him, and I think they're going to be down there a lot. So
I got something for that later.
Okay.
All
right. You want me to get my next one, or you want to?
Go ahead, brother.
All right. I'm gonna give you one that I just like this dude, Austin Eckler. Nobody ever even heard of this guy, and he was just popping out of nowhere last year and scoring touchdowns and playing. He's one of those people that if you give him a chance. That is all he needs, man. 18 inches of daylight. That's all I need, man. Just give this dude the football, man. That's all he needs. I don't care if you flip it to him, throw it to him, hand it to him. The guy just makes plays on the football field. I love him. Austin Eckler at the Rams, and like I already told you, they don't give a crap about stopping the run. And with the Rams, Wade Phillips couldn't care less about stopping the run. He wants them to stop the pass, and so I feel like Austin Eckler's going to catch some swing passes. He's going to run the ball between the tackles. He's just going to do it, man. Couldn't even tell you where he went to college. No idea. He could have gone to Southwest Texas. I have no idea.
My number 5 guy at running back, I took Peyton Barber.
Marion?
No, Peyton Barber the third. Yeah, but I just think it's gonna be a lot of points in that game. So, I mean, whenever it's a game with a lot of points, you want to take a player from that game if you can.
So what would you say about a team like that drafting a guy in the second round and then this guy just beats him out, some dude that nobody ever heard of, undrafted, You
normally don't say this about running backs. Normally it's maybe a tight end thing, but I think he just needs to get a little stronger. I don't know. He
needs to do something, Jay. He's projected to get 0 points this week, and I rookie drafted this guy in the first round.
I think it's gonna be one of them second half kind of guys, man. So don't give up on him. I mean, you can't, but
I can. I don't want to. Yeah. So Peyton Barber,
and he's nothing special though, Barber, but. For
really
right now, yeah.
Don't tell his mama or anything like that. He really, I'm sure she loves him.
He bought her house and all that good stuff, I know. But
I don't know. Not with his contract. Goodness gracious. All right, so wide receivers. We're not dealing with these 10 guys. AB, it's okay, bro. We love you. Okay, you're still on the list.
Just get another part in your head.
Michael Thomas, catching machine. Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, come on, man, please. Beckham, Tyreek Hill, AJ Green, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Adam Thielen. All right, so we stuck a white guy in there for y'all. So we got those 10, and we're all over the map on this one. Right. So we're just going to go through.
That's what
we both like Diggs against the Bills because the Bills couldn't cover a hole in the ground right now. So we're gonna Diggs. We like. You got a good commercial. We like it. It's good. It's hard to believe 15%. You can say 15%. 15 minutes.
Did he even say anything on it?
No, he didn't have to. He's just
speaking part.
Moving them hands, man. Go on with it. All right, so let's just rotate, man. Hit me up with your first one here.
I like Landry Thursday night. We able to talk about a Thursday night game.
Hey,
I'm
for once.
talking about somebody.
Hey, we did it.
He, obvious Gore's not there
anymore. How
anymore.
about 10 catches for 80 yards? Is that about right?
I think so, but no, he might mess around and slap Tyrod if he only get 10. Like he might want 15 for 80 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's about the catches. So, but no, but he actually caught a couple downfield last week. I saw
What?
it was actually like some 10-yard outs.
What?
Yeah,
Man! Jarvis Landry,
you were booking.
Man, he's killing it. He ran that 4.840 all the way down there and then made a move on the guy. I'm going to take Juju at Tampa Bay because, like you said, man, Tampa Bay's been giving up some points, and they mess around, and we both took Big Ben. Ben's got to throw to somebody. Antonio Brown's, feelings already got hurt, so we gotta throw it to him a little bit. But I think Juju's gonna light it up.
And I have been like really watched Juju. Like what kind of receiver is he? Like dispossession, or is he get behind people?
It's funny, man. He's he's one of those wide receivers that looks like a running back because he's kind of short and he's got big
Tate
thighs.
thing going on. Golden Tate.
He doesn't look like Golden Tate necessarily to me. He almost looks kind of like Austin Eckler. You know what I mean? That short, compact, body, and he's just one of those guys that's fast enough and quick enough, but he just runs good routes and gets open and makes plays. I mean, that's just who he is. He has a similar style to Stephon Diggs. You're not going to pick out a key characteristic for either one of those guys. They just do everything well.
But do you think he would jump into the Packers fan? Do you think he'd do a Lambeau Leap though?
Have you seen this guy celebrate touchdowns? Have you seen this guy celebrate touchdowns? He's had some of the best celebrations of anybody all time, man. I love him.
And that's another thing. It's like, if, this is probably never happened, but if they traded Brown and he's the number one, do you think he would be a diva? Because I think his personality is totally opposite of that. Like, he just having fun playing football. Like,
yeah, but they used to say that about Chad Johnson too. But then he turned out to be a diva. T.O. same thing. So I think he probably would.
I don't think so, man. I believe in Juju. I
like it. He's playful. I like him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I know he probably like 15 or something. You know what I'm saying? He probably 20. So he ain't got real bills yet or something. I don't know, but. Yeah, I like that. I like that pick. I'm gonna go with the man got to get his clothes back, right? Deshaun Jackson, man. And the thing about him is, we talking about this. As a matter of fact, me and Ed was talking about how the receptions are so high. Like you said with Michael Thomas and Juju and even the running back, they run around getting 10 and
Barkley
12.
got 14 against us.
14, 15.
Set a record for a Cowboys opponent. Barkley.
So you got running backs running around. So the receptions are real high. Like, it's this crazy. But
just kidding, Josh Gordon. Not like that.
But you got somebody like Deshaun Jackson. He only need about 5.
I only need 1.
Right.
Give me 1.
Irrelevant. He's good. Yeah. So somebody like that, you get 5 catches, 200 yards, you're good to go. 2 touchdowns. Hey man, put my sweat on.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So I like him.
I'm gonna take another fast guy, Cooks at the Chargers. We both took Goff. We believe in that. So he got to throw it to somebody, and I think Brandon Cooks is gonna have a really nice week against the Chargers. They do have some good cornerbacks. Right. I'm not gonna say they don't. I'm not gonna hate on either one of them. But
you're not gonna throw no shade.
I'm not throwing any shade, man. That is not going to happen. I'm going to take Brandon Cooks. They've been feeding him the ball.
And he's been he's a little dude, but he's been going up and catching some stuff like over the middle, like some deep ends and going up and getting it. Like he got that little man syndrome. Like he's going to show you, I can do this, and he always gets up and.
Tavon Austin had an interview this week talking about, I talk trash and all this stuff. He goes, I got that little man syndrome. I got to let people know I'm there,
So you got Cooks, which is, man, you good with that. But I'm gonna go with another guy that I was just happy to see, even though it was like for 50 yards. But Allen Robinson, he had 10 catches, man.
Okay,
I woke up and saw that.
Hey,
man,
okay.
I know, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's only like 2 years late.
Yeah.
So I'm more excited about this than anything.
Hey, so you get some points for your
like
second
this
year.
dude can actually be startable now.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, so I didn't see how the receptions went, but he had 10 of them. So I don't know if they were all smoke screens or what.
I was watching a little bit of the game and I was kind of like, who the heck is 12? Like, what's going on around here? What is this?
And why you keep throwing it to him?
Yeah.
So, 10 catch week, so that he might be building on something.
Hey, okay, man, that's good, man. Maybe that'll work out for you. That's nice. I took a Nelson Aguilar versus the Colts because, man, name me a Colts defensive player. I mean, they're terrible. So, and Aguilar was a favorite not only of Foles, but he was a favorite of Wentz last year. His whole career turned around when they moved him into the slot and they started shooting the ball downfield to him last year, taking advantage of his speed. I love Aguilar this week.
It's a good play. And this is my guy this year. He's for those that go way
Your
back.
hind parts.
But those that go back to the Joe Horn days.
Oh, yeah.
I remember doing the draft and the last round, I'm like, just Joe Horn, I'll take him. And he just went off, started hugging the goalposts and calling people. So
Flip phone.
He's my Joe Horn this year. Like my guy, I'm kind of can pick him up and just waiting. And he's been 2 touchdowns.
Did you say his name yet?
Oh, John Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's another little guy. But
But he's mean.
Yeah.
He's been nasty. I think he scored a touchdown every week so far.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I went a little way off because we said.
Didn't he have 10 days to prepare to? Get some extra rest time? Because those Thursday games are a huge advantage.
But
I've always heard that.
Did you see, I only know this because we played them, but how the Jets, like, the first week they played on Monday night, then they had a short week when they played us, and then now they on Thursday night. It's like, I don't think too many teams can cry about how they, however that little mix-up happened, because that's probably the worst you can do. And they starting a rookie quarterback. It was like, man, I think I would be upset if they did that to my team.
They've got to stop doing a stupid Thursday game. That's the biggest waste. Like, people are not ready to play football that quick. I mean, I know the Cowboys do it. Right. I know they do it on Thanksgiving and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's a one-time thing.
Yeah. I wish it was. They every year, I don't know why they do this. They play the Cowboys Sunday, then they do Thursday, then they do another Thursday. So we play. I'm like, come on, man, this is the stupidest thing ever, man. These are football players, man, in the NFL. I like John Brown. He's been performing. He's been doing his thing. He's one of those people that I sit there with my fingers crossed if I've got him, though, because for some reason, he just never has been able to stay on the field. Speaking of that, while this guy's healthy, I want to be able to call his name. If you think Tavon Austin can burn the Giants secondary, wait till you see Will Fuller this week. I'm taking Will Fuller against the Giants, like you're saying. Maybe Watson's starting to kind of warm up a little bit. I hope. And
he's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big part of what they do.
But I thought, he was just like the deep threat. Man, they were feeding the ball to this guy. They targeted him way more than I thought they would. So definitely, I'm gonna take Will Fuller against the Giants. It's at home. I think if they don't start well and play well, I think that crowd's gonna turn on them in a hurry. So I think they're gonna be like, man, let's get it to 15. Let's get it to 10. By the way, 10 is gonna be the number for Josh Gordon. Somebody already had 12.
Oh.
On that team, there's a player that already had it. And he tried to offer him some money, but the guy just looked at him, so I don't know. All right, tight end, your favorite position. We got 10, so we're going to take all the good ones out of your will here, and then you're going to start looking around. We got Gronk, Kelsey, Ertz, Reed, Graham, Ingram. That pretty much covers everybody, doesn't it? Rudolph, Burton, Kittle, and Doyle. Okay, you got Doyle. You can't even say Doyle this week. Okay, you could have picked Boyle though, the homeboy from the Ravens. Boyle.
They got a Boyle.
They have Boyle.
Oh, see, that's probably getting them mixed up.
There you go. So we agreed on 3 of the 4. We both liked Ebron versus the Eagles. I guess when you go out there and you score a couple of touchdowns the first couple of weeks, people start paying attention. The other guy that's really starting to step up is Jesse James, and he's at the Bucks, giving up a lot of yards, giving up a lot of points. And Jesse James, he's averaging like 17 points a game or something.
Man,
I mean,
he came a long way. I remember this guy started, he was like dropping stuff left and right, man. They've been real patient with him. But that's that one thing that everybody knows. It used to be receiver, but to come into the league, tight end, you got to be in the blocking, you got to be in the passing game, and it's just,
you got to teach Gesicki how to block.
Right. Well, next.
And the Rams couldn't be more ticked off. Jared Cook at the Dolphins. We both agreed on that one.
Yeah.
That's the first time Jared Cook's ever lived up to the expectations he had 10 years ago.
I know it.
Everybody's like, he's the fastest player on the Titans.
Right, that dude ran like a 4.4 at the combine or something. It was just ridiculous, man.
Their fastest receiver is a tight end. Yes, we heard you. Can you throw it to him? Because Derek Carr's figured it out.
And last year we played him. He was just like unstoppable, man. So I'm very afraid.
He made a play against us as well.
Yeah.
Playoffs against Green Bay. 16.
Oh, it was that guy.
Yeah.
Soft click.
Piece of crap. Anyways, I'm taking O.J. Howard versus Pittsburgh. Maybe they'll get the ball in the 25 and throw it to this guy.
So that's the number one rule as a kick returner. You bet, let it go, man.
Let that summer gun go, man. Put it on the 20. And do not give up a 5-yard run, whatever you do. Because this guy's going to score 75-yard touchdown. No, he's coming along. I like him. O.J. Howard is starting to get, I don't know if you noticed, but Brate's numbers are down.
Yeah. Oh, he's still there. Is he the holder or something? We don't know it.
He's getting paid. I know that. Tuesday came. He picked up his check. But I like Howard versus Pittsburgh this week. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in that game, and I think he's going to do some of it.
My guy is Disley. I think I'm getting him right. Yeah, Disley, because
he hasn't watched the Cowboy defense play at all this year.
Well, I'm just saying that, he had 2 nice games, so I mean, he's going to be all right. Okay. So he's made it to that realm of you start him. Man, that's what we are. We are a fantasy show.
So funny, man. He didn't catch more than 80 yards in a game his entire college career. His whole career. And listen to the draft show, and they're talking about this guy. Yeah, he's one of your inline blockers. I don't know if he can catch it, but he's what he had the first week, 160 yards or something like that. It's like, what in the world? Oh, but speaking of that, I had to because the Cowboys finally went deep, right? We actually threw the ball deep, and we'll get to it in a minute. But we went deep, like, all right, yeah. After that play, Dak ended up with 87 more yards passing.
Yeah, you ought to shut it down. Like that wasn't even supposed to happen. Like, dude, if you
that was an accident, I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
I don't care how open he is or who he running past.
All right. I also took Austin Hooper versus the Saints. He's at home. Last week he sort of woke up. First week it's like he mess around. It was his 5th preseason game or something.
Well, yeah, he get the targets. It's just and they look for him in the red zone. Because they don't.
Let me tell you who they're not going to throw it to in the red zone.
Right.
11.
So I like that too. I like that pick. I actually picked him up in a couple of leagues, just because he's startable. But your guy, I think you were like one of the only people that drafted this guy as a rookie in any league, dynasty league I'm in, was Butt. Yeah.
Don't be disrespecting
What is his first name?
Jake.
Yes,
Jake Butt.
Jake Butt. What?
Jake Butt.
Oh.
That's a man's name.
I know.
His middle name is Kicking.
So I actually watched a lot of the highlights, and he belonged.
To me, he was a first round pick, those late first round tight ends. He was that guy last year. That's what he was going to be, and then he tore his ACL. Stupid bowl game didn't even
weird play. More the reason why people might not play bowl games, but go ahead.
But man, I hope you're right. I need that guy to come on with it. I need that dude to come on with it. All right, you know what it's time to do, man? It's time to jerk that pistol and go to work.
You ready to skin it?
We got to skin it. To skin it means man, if you're just like scraping the bottom of the barrel, looking underneath the barrel, trying to find somebody to start at a
You don't
position.
even have a barrel.
You don't even know what a barrel is anymore. You're just looking for somebody to start so you can mess around and put a lineup out there. So if you had to do that, who you taking?
I like Corey Clement.
I love that dude.
Yeah, man, and especially with all the things you talked about, Jai, and if he don't end up playing, and that offense.
Why does he get the ball in the red zone? This dude is amazing. I mean, he's one of those people he reminds me of Eckler. It's like he just makes plays.
Right, and he can do it all. So if you had to, hey, go find that guy and skin it. You never know.
Promise you, he's out there. Yeah. I tried to take, one at each position or, whatever.
Did you tell me to do that?
No,
Oh,
I just try to take a couple of extra. I took Tannehill versus the Oakland Raiders because I don't know if you know this, but I think the Oakland Raiders suck.
We need a pass rush, man.
Do they need a pass rush?
Yeah,
Write that down. Maybe they could draft somebody
ball,
like second
man.
overall or something like that. Anyways, Tannehill, to me, he's a 4,000 yard a year kind of guy. People forget that because he had one injury, but
it's amazing how an injury make you injury prone.
Well, and it's amazing how one injury makes people think you're never going to play again. Like, oh, he tore his ACL in camp in August last year. He's like, okay, he's going to come back next year. What's the problem?
It's 2018.
It's 2018, man. They flew in an ACL from Nepal and put it in it. I mean, let's go. I took Aaron Jones at Washington as well.
Oh.
He's back after his little 2-game suspension.
Oh, okay.
And man, you're never going to be able to predict Green Bay's running back situation. So man, throw him in there. You never know. He might mess around and score 2 touchdowns. Then I took Tyler Boyd at Carolina, kind of a popular waiver wire guy this week, so he may be out of your deal. So this really hacks me off because I drafted this dude, rookie drafted him, and held on to him, and held on to him, and held on to him, and then I was like, forget it, man. They're never going to throw it to this guy. I cut him. Touchdown, Tyler Boyd. I'm like, I just cut this guy 5 seconds ago, man.
He's waiting though.
Yeah, man, he's just waiting on the Robinson Longhorns to
keep
cut.
Coming into the room, and they're like, "Have you been cut yet by the Longhorns?"
No, man, he believes in me, man. Bald son of a gun. All right, what about you're a daisy if you do? If you take this player, if you have this player, you might want to bench him.
Well, I went with the Colts backfield. I just took the whole running back room. Because I'm watching their highlights and I'm
sure y'all are trying hard, but let me tell you something. I ain't starting none of y'all.
Because Mac was back.
Yeah, and then they didn't trust him.
Yeah,
like, if he's back, then give him the ball.
Right, and they're like, no, we're gonna give it to 4 guys. So yeah, I'm not feeling the Colts backfield.
Let me know when that
washes out
ever works. Golly, I kind of copied you because I went with the Seattle running backs. Because I don't give a crap who it is. Saquon Barkley last week got 28 yards. 28. The week before, Christian McCaffrey got 50. 50 for the game. So the Cowboys ain't really about, letting you run in the ball. I mean, they're penetrating this year. I don't know who these people are. They're coming through gaps like crazy on defense, and all of a sudden we're a defensive team. I don't get it. Then what about, bye. Smell like somebody died. So somebody who's like, you can go ahead and just not even roster them. You can go ahead and just.
Well, some people thought they were being cute, and because they knew Wentz was going to be out, so they got Foles because a Super Bowl, putting up numbers and all this kind of stuff. Well, it's a what have you done for me lately league. So that Super Bowl was so long ago. We appreciate you, but bye.
You're cutting a quarterback, man.
You're done.
You're cutting a quarterback, really?
Any hope of him going Fitzpatrick, he missed it. He had the Super Bowl.
He had the opportunity to start.
To be the man somewhere else and get paid and everything, but he missed it. So 5.
Well, if you're going to go quarterback, I'm going to go quarterback too, and I can't wait to cut this guy. This guy, unfortunately, he's not on any of my teams, but Sam Bradford.
Bless his heart.
Man, God bless this dude, man. He's a Christian. He's a nice guy. Probably one of the nicest people in the NFL. But
that's why he keep getting
he's
jobs.
He's got to be the most overpaid player in the history of the league, man. This guy just gets paid for, like, I still can't believe, like, how much he got paid with the Eagles. Like, that late in the game.
His career.
Yeah, in the trade. We'll give you a first-round pick for him. Like, what?
Man, I heard he was a nice guy.
Like, this guy is really good for our locker room. Who cares? He doesn't have a rotator cuff or an ACL at all.
Oh man!
Yeah, I think they scored. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 0 points last week with this guy. He's got David Johnson. He can ruin David Johnson at this point. Yeah. He's ruining David Johnson. They drafted a guy in the first round that was ticked off that he went 13th overall or whatever it was. So let that dude play. Because it's over. It's over. Done. And their head coach, to me, he looks like an announcer or something.
Is
that Brian Gumble? Like, what is he doing? Why is he out there?
Why do you keep showing him for?
Yeah, I mean, is 48 hours on? What is going on? It's like, why did you kill your wife? I'm like, who is this guy?
Why do you keep showing the special teams coach? I don't get it.
All right, man. We're going to need to go get in the kitchen, man, and bake somebody a cake. Who we baking a cake for this week? Somebody that just like...
It can't be a fantasy show without talking about what this guy did. Patrick Mahomes, man, I'm going to bake you a cake, dog. And I got to be in the kitchen a long time.
2-layer cake.
Man, 6-layer cake. Like, man, one of the catches, and I'm exaggerating, but Kelsey caught it, and it, like, knocked him down. It's like, and it wasn't like it was a 5-yard pass. It was like 20 yards, and it's like, pow! Boom! Like, crap. This dude is not playing, man.
When Kansas City drafted him, they were kind of like, I wonder what we got, this and that and the other. But then they got to this offseason after watching him practice for 1 year, and they're like, Alex Smith, if you'll go ahead and get all your crap, get your iPad.
Or yards you pass for? Oh, we appreciate that. 4 touchdowns? Man, that's so good, man. You're really going to help a team out. But
it's not going to be us, but you're going to help somebody out. We need to get all your crap, get your iPad, give me your jersey, your socks, all that stuff, and get the heck out of here. We got to do that can throw it now. Yeah. And I think he set a record. Most touchdown passes first 2 weeks of a season.
Yeah.
He beat people like, I don't know, Peyton somebody. I can't remember what his last name was. And then, and Fitzpatrick did the same thing.
It is on fire, huh?
Just on fire, man. Out of control.
But have you, I'm not a big Texas Tech fan or nothing, but have you ever heard him talk?
A little bit, yeah.
It's like he sounds like he's 85. It's like, hey, because he was on whatever the Dion show, you get to call your ball or something. So he's like, whatever. He's like, yeah, man, and I'm like, is he all right? Like, what?
I'm just gonna say.
Are you like an old lady in Vegas? Like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, talk, man.
And what showed his age too, man, because he was like, well, what are you about to do after this? He was like,
Xbox.
Yeah.
What?
Like, shouldn't you be icing your shoulder or something, dude? Like, no, I'm good. Yeah, but his voice, man, and to be like that and just to have a cannon like you do, man.
I still can't believe he went in the first round. They traded up to get him in the first round. I couldn't believe it.
So I'm just wondering, like, what happened at these workouts where all the teams wouldn't have been up, like, we got to move up to get this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, Another thing, I wish we could see these workouts and, like, I think the NFL, it's a billion, trillion-dollar industry or whatever, but people like us and y'all, like, I think it's so much more they could give us. You know what I'm saying?
Access.
Just think about, like, the draft. Like, I said this in church, but we went to the draft and all they did is call names. Like, it wasn't even a game. All they did is call names of players and it was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just think about how much more
You got interest. There is interest here. You're calling names. And you're sending Michael Irvin out with the girl with the pants up to her boobs, out there, talking to us in the halftime. Don't leave! Don't leave!
You calling names that we coming from
And we're
all
driving,
over.
people flying in from all over the country.
So you know they're going to call names, right? Nobody's actually going to
Nobody's actually getting drafted. Oh, you wore your Brian Hartline shirt. Oh, you ready to go? It was crazy.
Bulk halter.
Standing in line to get in the first day, we counted every single team's jersey.
So it's just so much they could do, but and maybe
honestly,
to come.
if I would be the jerk if I was coming out and I was a prospect. I would be like, hey man, can you do a workout for us, bro? I did 40 workouts for you. They're called football games. No, watch the tape.
We don't want people chasing you. We just want you to stand here and do it.
You go watch that tape and you can tell me if I can play football or not. Can you run a 40? Watch the 40 games that I played and you tell me if I can play or not.
Well, maybe that's the same thing what happens in the workout with Bowler and all them and what's my man?
Sidney Jones?
Yeah.
Tearing an Achilles in a workout for a team. No, man. No. If I'm gonna go early and I put my stuff on tape, watch the tape. If you like the tape, take me. If you don't.
I don't know what's with this Maven guy, man. He's falling in the draft because
he's falling. I think they're gonna take him in the third round. Take me to third round. I'm gonna give it to you every time we play it too. Yeah. Back to baking some cakes, man.
Okay, who you baking a cake for? But
man,
it was 6 touchdowns. We had to give him
6 touchdowns, man. That dude deserved that crap. But I'm gonna bake a cake for somebody I actually want to bake a cake for, and that's Matt Breida, because Matt Breida is a guy rookie drafted the same year rookie drafted Mixon, and Mixon got hurt, and I needed somebody to step up. Burkhead I can't figure out. I don't know what his problem is. I got a couple of other guys, but Breida's like, hey coach, I'll play for you until Ingram comes back. Oh, well, crap. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, bro. I'll let you play. Who you playing? Kansas City? Get in there, bro. Run the ball. Run the ball, baby. Put that iPad down. Let's go. Let's get it. So, yeah, Matt Breida, I'm going to bake you a cake, man. It might be a 2-layer. Depends on how you do this week.
That's a good one, man.
So what do we got here? So, what just makes you go, really, man? Really?
And I get it. I had to actually think about this one, but do y'all know that there's been 2 ties in the NFL? 2 ties in the NFL. And I'm
First 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
First time since 1971. Jay and I weren't even born. And we're old. He's a grandpa.
Twice.
Twice.
And I'm like, really? Were we having ties? Is this hockey? Like, what's really going on?
Can they do penalty kicks?
Yeah, why are we running around here with ties, man? And then I pulled a McNabb because I was like, 10 minutes?
What are we doing now? What's next?
I didn't know they only get 10 minutes. They
lowered that.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's why half of them in ties. But I get it because it's more football and we don't want anybody to get hurt, but we playing on Thursday nights now. But they don't want
buy any of that.
Yeah,
crap.
But so I
don't want to hear about this, ducking your head bull crap because.
So I just think it's got to be some kind of way NFL really come up with. I mean, do like the XFL did. Just throw the football out there and whoever get it. You win. You break the tie. Fight for that football.
This man just dropped XFL on y'all. XFL.
Yeah, man, you got to come up with something. There's too many smart people in this world to because I think the college it goes too long. Because you score, I score, you score.
And the college thing should be 2 points right from the start. You have to go for 2 every single time.
See, there you go. It's that quick. We got a solution.
See, I just solved the whole problem.
Man, this dude's a middle school teacher, and he got it just like that. Man,
I got middle school teacher with 8 kids, and I got time to figure out their daggum overtime.
Yeah, but there's no reason we should be running around here with ties, because when it comes to playoff implications and scenarios and who you need to do with this, and so-and-so got a tie with so-and-so beat them by 49 points, and it's like, come on, man.
Get more than them.
Really?
Let me tell you what I'm saying really about the freaking kickers. Really, man? what is going on? This is the NFL. It stands for not for long when you kick like that, man.
I mean horrible.
Horrible. Like, it's not like that, oh, just barely fading. No, man, it's like row 13, cheerleaders are ducking, you know, like what?
And then it's like you miss it bad, but you get another chance.
Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
We're coming right back to you. Like, we're going to hustle the ball down the field and taking shots across the middle and all this kind of stuff so we can give you another chance.
Yeah, man. So
and Dan Bailey is at home watching the games on a couch, and people got Zane Gonzalez out there kicking.
And see, that's another thing. It's like the NFL did this, like, I'm going to make sure I use the right, influx of new kickers. Because, you know, for the longest time, it was mugs like 80 years old still kicking. And they just kept using the same kickers. But for some reason, I don't know.
Gary Anderson is kicking. I'm like, Gary Anderson? Doesn't he have a grandson or something in the league?
It's like Gary Anderson, the third kicking? I'm like,
no, that's the one that kicked for the Steelers back in the 70s. Like, come on.
So, but for some reason, we didn't get the memo, but everybody had to get a new kicker. I don't know why, and it had to draft one, a free agent kicker or something like that. So, I just don't understand it, man. And since we on really, I got another one, man. Can I throw an alibi out there?
Can I finish the kicker one first?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
okay, my two questions are this. What is messing with these kickers? Is it the extra points? Is it the extra point distance? Because that started to me, I think it had a mental effect on it. Yeah. I think it did. Yeah. And then the other thing is, what are the expectations now? Because I think before, it was like, if it's less than 40...
Yeah, that's automatic.
That's like you ought to have like 99%, you know. But what are the expectations now? Are they lowered?
Well, I think one thing that messed everything up was getting somebody that can kick it out the back of the end zone. You know, so that was a big part of special teams. Somebody got a big leg.
We carried 2 kickers because of that bull crap.
See what I'm saying? And yeah, a lot of teams did that. This dude just came in and kicked it as hard as he can, and you got paid to do
Earned
that.
A game day roster spot for 3 plays. David Beeler, look out!
Yeah, so now, instead of 2, we got 1, but that's one of the big priorities. Like, okay, you got a big leg, but you would have, like we talking about, Gary Anderson of the world. They probably couldn't kick it 50 if they had to, but inside of 50, there was automatic.
It's automatic.
But now you got 55 yarders and they got 10 yards to spare, but you don't know where it's going to go.
You know, I can kick the ball 70 yards. I don't care. If you don't know where it's going, it doesn't matter.
Is it going to be in the stadium when you do it?
Is it going to be in Irving? Or where's it going to be? Arlington? Where's it going to be?
Oh, man.
So what was your second one?
Oh, really? We had, Watson ending the game, not knowing the situation,
throwing it to the middle of the field with no timeouts with 7 seconds left.
Yeah, but the play started with like 20-something seconds.
It wasn't that much, but it was up there.
But he had time. He running back and forth like, dude, this ain't Clemson. Yeah. Like, get the ball out, dude. They're not going to come open. They know you got to throw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're back there, man.
But
you're not
fooling
nobody.
Like 5 points though to Hopkins.
Yeah, really, and the Jets did it to us before halftime. They threw it in the middle of the field and
thank you.
Yeah,
thanks for being dumb. Really appreciate it. My other really for this week is just something that you know. God bless America on the quarterbacks. We got to protect them. Oh. But Clay Matthews, what would you like for him to do? Give this guy a kiss? I mean, what does he have to do to sack the quarterback?
Yeah,
I mean, he hit him and rolled off to the side, so only his arm was on. Oh my gosh! Do you have any idea how heavy your arm is? Like, I'm a football player. I work out. What do you want me to do? Like, I don't understand. I mean, what the heck? And that play, that call, made it possible for the Vikings to come back in that game so that they could tie.
Right.
Really?
But that's the Rodgers rule.
It is the Rodgers rule, but you ain't got to do. I mean, he didn't land on anybody. He rolled off of him and was like, you know, a couple of fingers on him. And
but it's part of that cuffing the leg, man. So don't cuff. Just go up to him whisper sweet nothings in his ear.
No kidding, man.
And then, hey, man, would
You know what I
like
think
the
of?
ball, please?
You know what I think of? I think of. You remember when Vince Young was a rookie, and they had, I think it was O.C. Umenyiora or or Kiwanuka or one of those kind of guys. It was somebody with a jacked up name. I don't know who it was. But I think it was Kiwanuka. And he went up to him and he grabs Vince Young and he's holding him. And Vince Young just shoves him out of the way. And so he lets go because he thinks, okay, I don't want to land on this guy or hurt him. He runs out, completes the pass. And Tom Coughlin, I thought he was going to have a coronary on the sideline right there, man. He's like, what is wrong with you?
Red as you can turn.
Oh, man.
But not only did he do that, like the whole defense stopped.
Yeah, everybody's just stopped because, he's got him. Yeah. We don't want to hurt him.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Vince Young, like, I'm like 6'5", 240. Yeah, like, dude, you're going to have to actually put me down. I'm not going to, like, fall like Peyton would do, like, when people come around, just go to the ground. But, yeah, that was a good, really segment, man. NFL, I hope y'all were listening to that.
Please, man, we just fixed half of your problems. Solving your problems while we're working 40 hours a week, man. Come on, dog. All right, Cowboy Dolphin minute. What are you Dolphins doing, man? 2-0. What do y'all got like? Y'all got like major odds on going to the playoffs.
Yeah, man,
so y'all putting playoff tickets out there.
Well, for my Dolphin minute, man, I just want to talk about Frank Gore,
Corey Barnes.
This guy, man. I want to say maybe one of the quietest to that kind of achievement, 4th all-time rushing.
Nobody, shh. Don't say anything. He's 4th. 4th all-time. It's like Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders,
Walter
Payton.
Yeah, and then him. Like, and
Frank Gore.
And it's like, this dude, they say this, but this dude actually could care less. Like, he could actually care less. I'm just like, wow, man. And that's one of, like, what we talk about. One of those stories that we don't hear about. Like, this dude actually played the game the right way. Like, they was like, dude, you're Frank Gore. How come you only got 4? He's like, man, I trust my coaches. I trust my teammates. If that's how many carries I get. It's like, but no. The breaking news, Antonio Brown didn't come to practice. You know what I'm saying?
And he's crying, and he's really upset. We should get him a comfort animal.
And I went purposely to go look at Antonio Brown. This dude had over 10 targets. Like, what are you crying about, dude? Yeah, but Frank Gore, man.
Stop crying. Do some push-ups or something.
God bless you, brother. He's so humble.
Man.
And I don't know how much more he got to go to catch the next guy or whatever. I mean, he's only 35, so he got 5 more years.
He's only 35. Darren Sproles is what this guy is. Goodness gracious. All right, my Cowboy minute is, it's...
I'm having a lot of fun, man. I thought I'd let you know that.
All right, man. I'm glad you are.
Right,
I'm glad you are, man. I try to be entertaining around this summer gun. The Cowboys offense, we went from you can't stop us if you want. We'll tell you what we're doing. We're going to go Zeke up the middle on this play. If you'd like to try to stop that, God bless you, man. I hope it works out for you. Oh, by the way, we're gonna fake it to Zeke and we're gonna throw it to Jason Witten on this play. If you'd like to stop that, please feel free because you're not going to be able to do it. To the point where it's kind of like, can we get a first down? Can we get a first down? And I almost feel like the coaches were flipping off all the fans this week because everybody all week long was like, we got Tavon Austin. We got somebody that can run. Throw the ball down the field. The Panthers sat in single high safety the entire game, begging and daring you to throw it down the field, and never did you try it. And, it's like, just throw the football. It's the NFL. Throw the ball down the field.
Right. It's made for throwing.
Deontay Thompson, the only thing he can do is run a deep route. That's it. Y'all had him, didn't you?
No.
You didn't have Deontay Thompson?
I thought he was with the Bears for a minute.
He was with the Bears and the Titans and things like the only thing this guy can do is run a 9. That's it. And Tavon Austin, he can do jet sweep and a 9. That's it. But run them, gosh! Throw the ball down there, man. Because if you don't, and it's like they were just like, they were about to. The coaches went out there in the first 3 plays. They ran an RPO, first 9-yard pass. Then they ran Zeke on second down, which we always run him on first down. And then the third play was a deep ball to Tavon Austin. So we scored a 65-yard touchdown. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, that's all the fans are looking for. Let's just throw it down there and see what happens. Let's go, you know. And then they're like, all right, we did that. Okay, now we're going to go back to what we'd really like to do. I'm like, why do you like to do that? It doesn't work. Like, just throw the ball, get the lead, and you can feed Zeke all you want. Throw it. And now I'm starting to question if Dak is even that guy now. Because the guy got 87 yards in the game outside of that touchdown to Austin. We're 31st in the league in throwing the ball and like passing yards. I'm like,
and the other team got Sam Bradford probably.
Yeah. I mean, and there's rookies starting in the league, and they're killing. They're doing better than us. I'm like, it's just, come on, man.
It got to be frustrating, man. A team that's normal that have playmakers and stuff like that, and you just score 7, and you can pretty much say, okay, the game's over. Just shut it down. We'll keep them.
Tony Romo's got to be pulling out whatever little hair he's got left, because he just he's out there. He scored 48, 38, 40, 32, and we lose.
Right.
And just begging anybody, please, defense, please. And they had 2 of the 5 worst defenses of all time back-to-back years. And he drugged that team on his back to 8-8. And then now, and it really one game from going to the playoffs. And with the worst defense in the history of the league. The history of the league. And then somebody else even hired that defensive coordinator. And then they got them a top 5 year too. Way to go, Saints! But then now we got all this defense, and we can't move the ball because we don't have a guy that can throw it
or open it up enough. Or do y'all see something of like, oh, we got to keep it conservative with him because he's not that guy. But this is what I want to ask you, Tavon Austin. So is he just a 9 guy like you saying, or he can't be like
he can like the slot guy, you know?
He can't be McCaffrey-ish and all that kind of like get them receptions.
He can. The only thing about that is we got a guy that does that. You know, we got Beasley that's gonna beat your slot corner for a first down or whatever.
I'm talking about even closer than that, like just in the flat, like not even.
Sure, he could do that. Yeah, but see, that would take creativity, and so we don't really do that. We don't like to go, getting creative out there.
We just want to line up man on man.
We just want to beat people, and this is one of the reasons I was just kind of like, I'm just kind of done with Jason Garrett. I'm just like, okay, thank you for all of your service, man. Appreciate Thanksgiving '94, the whole 9 yards, man. But it's just, I've had it, man. I want somebody, that's why I like these younger hires. I just want to go get a younger guy. I'll even take the guy we got on defense, the guy that changed our defense, Chris Richard. Put him as a head coach. I'll take that dude. I love him. Hire him. Give him a promotion. Let's go. So I don't know what I want. Do I want the Cowboys to lose so they'll fire Jason Garrett and get somebody better? I don't know, because they probably wouldn't. Who knows? Anyways, Facebook. Our questions from our Facebook group. Okay, we have a Facebook page, Fantasy Gametime, and we got a question from an outstanding human being and a great viewer and a loyal fan of the show, Brett Miller, out there in Florida.
He's 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, he's killing it. But he's asking. He wants to know what's up with Philip Lindsay and the Denver backfield situation. How do you reconcile that? How do you rank that up? What are you thinking?
Well, the one thing about Lindsay that makes him real to me is that they're running him. Like, this dude's getting attempts. That's what makes it like you have to pay attention to that. Like, he's getting 17 and
they're not going to give some ball to somebody they don't trust.
And he's squirting through there, and man, when he get out there, it's like his hair on fire or something. Like, this dude is like, Mama, I made it, and he's going off, man. So I think he's for real. Is he going to be, the number 1 guy? But anytime you got somebody with his skill set that can run between the tackles, it's almost a no-brainer. I really believe they just kept this dude under wraps. They saw it like the first day of training camp or something. It was like, whoa, okay, hey, you go sit over there.
I'm gonna need you to calm down. Bro.
Yeah,
There's people watching.
Yeah, man. So I like him. I think he's going. He's
okay,
legit.
but does that relegate Freeman to the number 2 guy there in Denver?
No. I still like Freeman because he showed even in preseason he's a touchdown guy. I mean.
Is it a Barber Julio Jones thing, or I mean, is it a Tiki Barber and Rondane thing? I mean, what do we got?
I think it's just one of them things you don't want in a backfield, but it's a shared backfield. That one is really going to get more of the touchdowns, though.
I'm okay with a share backfield. I'm not okay with a committee backfield.
Right.
I like the share thing, though. You can do a little bit of this guy, do a little bit of that guy. I'm fine with both. I'm fine with both of that. But I don't like the. Well, it's 3rd and 7 or more, so we're bringing in James White, and it's 3rd and 4 or less, so we're bringing in Rex Burkhead, and then it's 3rd and 5 to 6, so we're bringing in Sony Michel. Like, man, give me a break of that bull crap.
But no, man, it's 4, not 5. You're in. I'm not out.
Remember? They changed it this week.
I went up a yard. I'm the 35 guy now. Yeah. So I'm with you. But yeah, that was a good question too, by the way, because I mean he actually has them.
And I agree about Freeman. I still think Freeman is relevant. I would still want him in a dynasty league.
Okay, I'm gonna go with you like this. When because I see Tony Brown right here. If when Ingram come back, are you not starting Kamara? Right, it's automatic.
But that's what I mean. A share thing I like,
and I can see them be. You know, that's what I see automatically. Because
I have a quick question about Ingram, but just because I have him. Does he have another year after this?
With the Saints?
I don't know. Just in the NFL.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, because age-wise, you would think no, maybe, but he hasn't been getting a whole lot of carries. You know what I'm saying?
It took him forever to kind of get rolling too.
Man, he
waited until I traded him.
He decided to go ahead and take the steroids. You know, eventually he just like, you know what?
Did you see the meme about when he decided he was going to start taking steroids?
No.
He was an honorary captain at an Alabama game, and he's standing next to Derrick Henry, and he's just looking up at him like, dang! Like, that's what they're growing him like now?
Yeah,
because he looks like he's about a foot taller.
Guy.
Yeah, about a foot taller and about 50 pounds heavier, and he's like, holy crap, man, this dude's like this guy's in the college. Man, I need to bulk up.
That's what one of the guys from work said about Khalil Mack and Russell Wilson at the end of the game or whatever. They was changing jerseys or something.
And he was like, "Hey, little guy.
Yeah,
hey, man.
Feel bad about throwing you down so much.
Sorry about landing on you with my finger. So then I got a penalty." I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, man. So a great week, man. A good show. Hopefully you guys have a good fantasy week. We came a little early, so hopefully.
Hey, we even helped you out with some Thursday games. Of course, I didn't pick any Thursday players, but there you go.
Just put Landry in, and hopefully he don't slap nobody or get ejected, something like that. So. Sweet,
man. Well, we enjoyed it. Like I said, continuing to try to improve every single week, make the show better for y'all. Hopefully some of these picks will be some players that you can take some advice and put into your lineups for this week. And hope things continue to get better for you. Remember, everything can change. If you got a crappy team, it can change like that, man. One ankle turn and somebody else's team can fall apart. Some of the teams are held together on a thread. Believe it.
Like just like that.
Like that right there. like that right there.
And just stick with it. And next week, if we get anybody besides Brett to ask us a question, we're gonna give y'all a shout out, man. I mean, can we get another questioner?
We'd like some. Should I start this guy or should I start that guy? Crap.
Because we got all the answers.
It ain't our team, and we ain't gonna have to deal with the loss. So we're glad to help.
Just start somebody that scores 6 touchdowns. You don't have to worry about it.
It's easy, man. Yeah. It's easy. Hopefully, all of those people got taken throughout when we did our top 10, so we can actually help you out with some stuff. Shout out to Will Rashad watching right now. That's my dude. I ain't seen him in forever, man. You need to come have dinner, bro. All right, man.
Walmart is calling, man.
Walmart's calling. Jay got to get up early, man. So I got to send him on. He don't get his beauty sleep. He don't look like GQ. So, man, I got to tell you, America, we love football.
We love God more.
Absolutely. So
have fun with football, but remember, it has a place.
Read your Bible.
There you go. Amen, brother.